Hi everyone. The next topic of discussion for the MDS finish line is calcium and phosphorus metabolism. I'm Dr. Saiti, Team MDS Conquer. So this is actually a very important question in the physiology being asked in the basics paper. So it's almost important for all the subjects or all the departments. So we'll just have a look. So for any essay question, it's always better to write the contents. So you can write these contents and the subheadings also you can write for calcium as well as for the phosphorus. So if you can write these contents, it's good. Okay, and then you can give introduction of why are the minerals very important for the body to regulate the energy or for body electrolyte balance and all that. You can just put a slight introduction of regarding all the elements, all the 25 important essential elements. So you can just put forward. And next you can jump to calcium. So calcium you can just write of how it is being distributed like this. So about 1000 grams of calcium, 99% is in the bone, whereas other 1% is in the non-bone. That's 2 extracellularly, then the bloodstream and the interstitial fluid. So you can just put this. Later you can go for the sources of calcium, which are very important. So you know, the milk and the leafy vegetables, the cabbage, the beans, the fish and all. You can just give the heading. And the forms of calcium, either it could be in the diet or in the plasma in the ionized, non-ionized form, or in the bones as readily exchangeable or stable calcium. Okay, so coming to the important functions or important related to calcium anabolism, it's like it's an essential component for bone and teeth, also for muscle contraction, for blood coagulation, for nerve transmission, for membrane integrity, for enzyme activation, and also effect on hormonal release. So all these are the important functions related to calcium. So if you can put forward this chart, it will be really fetching. So what are the factors that promote calcium absorption and what inhibit the calcium absorption? If you write the heading and if you give these and if you could explain a bit, that will be really fetching. So coming to the main thing, so the main heart of this answer is the homeostasis. So calcium and phosphorus metabolism, they mainly ask for the homeostasis of how it is being balanced and how the equilibrium of the calcium as well as phosphate is being maintained by the human body. So that is mainly by these three hormones or these three elements, that is the parathormone, the 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol or calcitriol, and the calcitonin. So these three play a very important role in regulating the calcium and phosphorus metabolism. So you can just give the introduction of what is homeostasis and then you can answer of how these three play a very important role. So the parathormone and 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol is very important. They play a very important role in regulating the low calcium levels in the serum. So if there is low calcium levels in the serum, then parathormone will be released by our parathyroid gland, which acts on the bone and the kidney and as well as the intestine to get back the calcium back to the serum. Okay, to get back the calcium to the serum, they act. So either it increases the resorption of the bone and also it causes the intestinal absorption, like that. So how it gets back or how the serum gets back is like this. If you can draw the bone and if you can even draw a small kidney and if you can explain, that will be really fetching. Okay, so both parathormone and the vitamin D plays an important role when there is a low level of calcium in the serum. So you have to explain like that. So you can even give a mild explanation of how the vitamin D is being synthesized if it is an essay question. So again you can give the actions of the vitamin D, like how it increases the calcium absorption from the intestine and also phosphate absorption and increases the renal reabsorption of the calcium and phosphorus or the phosphate. So and it how it gets back or the serum gets back its calcium and the levels will get back to normal. Okay, so as I said, the parathormone and the vitamin D come into scene play when there is low calcium level. Okay, but if there is high calcium level, then again it has to get back to normal, right? In that case, calcitonin comes into action. So calcitonin is being produced by parafollicular cells or the clear cells which are present in the follicles of the thyroid gland. So these parathormone and the calcitonin actually acts opposite to each other, antagonist of each other. So if there is high calcium in the body or in the serum, then calcitonin comes and reduces it. How it reduces it? It inhibits the osteoclast mediated bone resorption. So it stops the resorption of the bone. Okay, so there will be no resorption of the bone, because of which the serum calcium will be decreased. Apart from that, it promotes renal excretion of calcium. It asks the kidney to excrete more calcium, because of which the serum calcium will come down. This is how these both will act opposite to each other. The same is in case of phosphate as well. So if the question is asked as a short answer, then calcium and phosphorus you can combine together and you can write. If it is asked an essay answer, then you can split and write. That is how you have to increase the length of your answer. Okay. So coming to the disease states, it's always better to write at least few applied aspects. So you can write hyperparathyroidism. Okay, you can just put that the thyroid hormone is being secreted more than normal. So if you can write the chief complaint, the triad of this complaints, it will be very useful. That is the bone stones and abdominal groans. So this is attractive for any of the examiners. So you have to write and highlight this point. Apart from that, if you can write others, it's also good. Okay, if you can write the causes of these hypocalcemia, you can write again, that was hyperparathyroidism. Next coming to hypocalcemia, so you can write these also. So that's coming the hyperparathyroidism. So it could be characterized by serum calcium level is below than a normal range, and it could be the etiology of surgical removal or diseases of the parathyroid glands or congenital absence of the glands. So you can give this mild oral manifestations. Okay, and the diagnostic criteria of the tetany you can give. So hypoparathyroidism is leads to a condition called as tetany, which includes these signs, that is Schwarzkopf sign and the Trocheus sign, wherein there is twitching of the facial muscles in the Schwarzkopf sign, and in the Trocheus sign there is carpopedal spasm when it is the sphygmomanometer puff is being used. So you can see the carpopedal spasm there. So you can just, if you write these signs and if you can give a line of description, that's enough. Okay, and next condition is osteoporosis. We know increased resorption of the bone, especially in the older age adults. And the other condition is called as rickets. It's good due to the deficiency of 1 to 25 dihydroxyvitamin D. So that is again characterized by decalcification of the normal bones as well as formation of imperfectly calcified bone. Okay, so these are the conditions or the disease states related to calcium. If you can just name and write at least few lines of description, that is enough. So actually applied aspects carry some 4 to 5 marks in every question. So if it is an essay, so it's better to write at least few applied aspects. It's again, if in your department, again if you can put forward, like if it is related to endodontics, so you can put related to the dental caries, and if it is related to perio, you can put some other thing which is related to gingival clavicular fluid or whatever. So wherever it is again important in your respective departments, if you can put forward those applied aspects, even that will be really fetching for you. Okay, again coming to the phosphorus, you can give a mild introduction. Later you can give the sources of the phosphate or phosphorus. Then coming to the factors affecting, you can give these factors which affect the phosphorus or the phosphate absorption. So just give this, if you can write, and if you can just give a pinpoint answer, line answers, that's enough. Later the important functions of the phosphorus or phosphate. So it's again, the phosphate is for the bone and teeth, we know that, and also for it is an important integral part of high energy phosphate compounds like the ATP, GTP and creatinine phosphate, and also essential component of nucleotide coenzymes like the NADPH, NADP pyridoxal phosphate, and also many phospholipids, phosphoproteins, nucleic acids. All these are important functions, and also it's necessary for absorption and metabolization of carbohydrates. Okay, so again you can give a homeostasis which is maintained by these three, that is parathormone, the vitamin D and calcitonin. So these two, the first two act if there is low level of phosphorus or low level of phosphate, and if the calcitonin acts if there is high level of phosphorus in the serum. Okay, and they counteract that and brings back the serum levels to normal. So if you can combine both calcium and phosphorus metabolism, it's enough. Okay, and again this is states, just put a word like hypophosphatemia, and the etiology you can write. Okay, and hypophosphatemia you can write, and the oral manifestations, so loosening and premature loosening of the teeth and gingivitis and radiographic findings because of hypocalcification. There will be hypocalcified teeth and all the things you can write, and presence of large chambers, pulp chambers. and other condition is called as a hypophosphatemia or hypophosphatasia. So this is a deficiency of enzyme alkaline phosphatase that results in excretion of phosphoethanolamine in urine. If you can write, it's enough, or else it's okay. So that's it. So you can conclude with that the calcium and phosphorus metabolism is very important for the normal body metabolism or normal body functioning. So how does it important, why it is important, what are the hormones that play an important role? If you can put lastly in the conclusion what is the main homeostasis that is being occurring or regulating this metabolism of calcium and phosphorus, if you can write at the end, it's enough. So that's it. So references, you can give your biochem textbook, your Shambulingam, and also you can give any good textbooks like Schaefer and any articles if you have gone through. So that's it, students. So main thing for calcium and phosphorus, you have to write the sources, the functions, and the homeostasis. So heart of the topic is the homeostasis, and those three structures, or the three elements, that is parathormone, vitamin D, and calcitonin. These three play a very important role. So you have to put forward these 3 points of how they play an important role. Okay, if you can put it in a nice flow chart and a nice diagram, that will be really fetching. That's it, students. Thank you.